Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Football Talk. And today, your boy is back at it again with another Madden 27 video. Today, we got 7 things that were removed from Madden 27 from the man himself, Eric Wayweather. Man. You know what? I ain't gonna make this intro long, man. I'm ready to see what did they remove, and I want to know some of the reasons why. Maybe he has some reasons why some of these got removed. Maybe people wasn't playing them, or they was the metas and stuff like that. So we shall see. Without further ado, before we hop into this, make sure you give your boy a huge like on this video and keep subscribing to your boy because we on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go.
Every year when Madden comes out, we've got a lot of new features and cool things to talk about, but some years they remove some things as well. Now, some of the things they remove are actually for the better because they upgrade them or turn them into something completely different. But then there's other times where they remove some things that we wish they didn't remove. Now, I used to have to make this video a lot more often because for a while there were a lot of things getting removed, and that doesn't happen nearly as much nowadays. Most of the new features that come tend to stick around, but this year in particular, there are 7 things that I found that have been removed from the previous version of the game, and some of them are good things because they got improved, but a few of them upset me a little bit. And we got to start with number 1, which is Superstar KO. And the writing was on the wall for this mode for the last few years. They really had not updated it in quite some time. And a lot of people will probably tell you that this mode wasn't good, or it didn't even need to be in the game, or it wasn't a serious mode, but I would disagree with that. I think modes like these can be really fun, and when it was implemented in Madden 20, I actually thought it was a really fun mode. It was a new way to play the game. You could play very quick games. They would last maybe 10 minutes. They had very limited playbooks. It stripped back a lot of the difficult things about the game and made it just simply pick up and play. Draft a few star players to a generic team of base players. If you scored and stopped your opponent, you would win. If you got stopped and then stopped your opponent, you'd go into overtime. If both teams scored, you'd go into overtime.
Change is in the air. And if you're 50 or older with certain chronic conditions, or
But they were quick pick up and play games, very limited playbooks, and it was just a completely different style of Madden game. They also introduced celebrities and different characters into this when they first introduced it. And in the following years, they even added college teams to it for a little bit before the college game actually returned. Now, don't get me wrong,
they had college
mode.
teams
It's not
in
franchise, it's not superstar mode, it's not even ultimate team, but it was a fun side mode, and I think sports games still need something like that. Another mode that we had for a long time that was fun was Draft Champions. That was another side mode that we no longer have, and I think you just need to have those different ways to play outside of the pillar mode. In Superstar KO, I thought they could have got really creative with it, but then in the following year, they brought the yard to the game, and that kind of split that player base. I always thought the yard could have existed inside of KO, and they could have built a whole separate world there with different house rules and different ways to play, different characters, different ways to upgrade. But after the first couple of years of it being in the game, it pretty much just went untouched for the next 4 years, and at that point, no one was really playing it anymore, so there was no need to really keep it in the game, and they removed it this year. Look, I'm aware that not many people played or cared about this mode, but at a time when it was first introduced, a lot of people did care about it, and I'm kind of just more upset that they didn't build upon this when I thought it could have been something fun that could have stayed in the game longer than it did. And moving to number 2, something that goes along with this, and we'll keep it just kind of short and brief because this is part of Superstar KO. There's no longer an online co-op 2v2 or 3v3 with regular teams. Yes, you can play it in MUT squads and Ultimate Team, but nobody really wants to play it that way.
I didn't even know there was an online co-op. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, damn. So they took that away. Oh. Yeah, these two, I have never experienced these two. Like, I was on the yard. Now, the yard was my shit. When they first introduced the yard, what was it, 21? Maybe 20, I think. Man, oh man, bro. I posted a lot of videos about that too. A lot of fun times, man.
They want to play with regular teams. And you used to be able to do this inside of Superstar KO. Why this was implemented inside of KO and not just regular online head-to-head play, I don't know. Maybe because when KO came back, it already had a co-op built into it. So at the time, it might have been easier to put it in there. As you could see here up on the screen, last year you would go into KO. You could change the mode type from KO to just online head-to-head, and you could play 2v2 or 3v3 with friends. Now, this is no longer in the game. I think they will implement this back in some way because it's kind of just standard. Sports
cool.
games need to have a way to play online co-op head-to-head with regular teams outside of Ultimate Team, because you can't just pick up and go play Ultimate Team. You need money or time to grind teams. Nobody wants to do that. So hopefully they bring this back, but as of right now, there's no way to do this in Madden 27. Moving on to some better news, number 3, they finally removed speed boosting. Now, the game actually did launch with this, but it got an update about a week in, a few days ago, and it finally...
This right here, bro. Oh, I'm so glad they got rid of this. The speed boosting, it would... And here's the thing. It wasn't like it was like a little speed boost. Like, you would hit certain moves, and your player will go up about 10 to 12x speed. It, like, literally, he's zoom. I mean, gone. And at first, I never really used the speed like that too much. But then I started this, like, when I was playing against my friends and stuff, they started to abuse it. And that's when I started to realize, like, okay, this needs to be out of the game, because this is, bro, this is ridiculous. Oh my goodness, you remember the spin move? You remember if you did a speed boost out of the spin move, bruh, you wasn't catching dude. If he timed that spin move with the speed boost, it would be some of the craziest highlights you've ever witnessed, bro. It was insane. I'm glad they got rid of this.
Removed speed boosting. Now, this was a really big deal last year in both Madden and college football.
Definitely was.
And when the games launched this year, it was once again kind of a big deal. Not quite as good as last year, but still pretty good. And I know some people will say speed boosting is fun. It's a video game. It's supposed to be fun. But to be honest, speed boosting was a glitch, and it really dumbed out your defense. You were able to get these unrealistic speed boosts and move in such a way that defenders had no chance to make a play. It really dumbed out pursuit. It made you move unrealistically fast, making a cut, to the point where people
Forget about open field tackling
mid breakaway run, because if somebody was in pursuit, they could do a cut and dumb out the pursuit, which no one would ever do that mid run. They would just try to outrun the defender, because in real life, if you cut, you actually have to slow down at least a little bit to make that cut. In the game with speed boosting, you didn't have to do that. Well, it has now finally been removed from the game, and if you play college football, don't worry, it should be getting removed there soon as well. But for those that like
it's
doing
still
this,
in college?
you might not
Oh
like
my
it,
God.
but it's no longer there. Hey, if you're still here at this point of the video and you haven't subbed yet, I would just ask that you subscribe, join the family. That way you're always up to date with the latest and best Madden news. It really helps support the channel a ton, and you can always unsub at any time. Number 4 is another good thing. They removed the old ability system. So ever since Madden 20, we had abilities and X factors in the game, and they've become a really big part of gameplay for Madden. But then the college game came back a couple of years ago, and they introduced a different ability system. They introduced tiered abilities, meaning a player could have an ability, but he could have it at one of 4 different levels. And at the highest level, you got more perks.
And I like when
they
they
finally have brought that
college
system over to Madden, because more people said that they preferred the college version of the ability system to Madden, and they...
Yeah, this was such a good thing right here. See, this is why, you know, I'm glad that we have college, because we might still be having the old abilities tier. This right here, this tier is so much better in my opinion. And obviously, a lot of other people think so as well. So, you know, EA did listen, and they implemented like the college football one. You see, those right there. And when people say, oh, you know, EA, they don't listen and this and that. Yes, they do. You just gotta find out, you know, where it's at, you know. That's all. Like, they do listen. It might not be what you want at the time that you want, but in due time, a lot of the stuff that you guys will want, or I will want, will be in the game at certain points, you know? It might not be all in 1 year, but every single year they're improving. In my opinion, at least.
They've made that change. So now you have bronze, silver, and gold tier abilities. Now at bronze, for example, if you have the jukebox ability, it grants you better steerable jukes. But then when you get up to gold, it gives you the fastest steerable juke. So basically at bronze, it's going to give you a base level advantage, a better animation, more accuracy, a faster release, whatever the case may be. But as it goes up to silver and then gold, it'll give you the best accuracy, the best animations, the best release. And I think that is just a better system. And with this now, players can actually get more abilities than before, because they used to be capped, but now I think they can get as many as they want. Because an NFL player, if he's good at a bunch of different things, well, in the game, he should have as many abilities as needed to match that. Number 5 is another good one, and that is the old adjustment system. On defense, they removed the entire old system and they added something completely different. Now, depending on who you are, this could be good or bad. I will say the new button mapping on defense is so much better once you get used to it, but a lot of people don't like change on the controller. They have their muscle memory. They're used to what they're used to for the last 10 years.
I don't make
they don't
many
want to change. So
adjustments
this really could be a negative, but
defense.
once you get used to it, I promise you it is better, because
it does look 10
clicks
better
last year. Now you can do in 2 to 3 clicks, so you can set stuff up a lot quicker. Now the defensive line and the linebacker adjustments, for example, are on the right stick. All of your secondary and coverage adjustments are done by pressing left trigger instead of before you would press the Y button. And now the Y button has become the quick adjustment button. So when you press that, you then have an icon over everybody's head on defense, and you can adjust all of them on the fly like this. So it is very different. It does take time to get used to, and this might not be something you like, but when you do get used to it, I promise you it is a lot better. Number 6 are certain team traditions. Now, this one surprised me because these were things that were just added in last year, and I don't know if this was an accident. I don't know if they're redoing them, but one, for example, that I noticed because I'm a Saints fan is they removed the Who Dat chant, which was something new last year. With last year's game, they did a
they removed the Who Dat. Oh, wow. I did not know that. Oh, wow. So they removed certain intros. Oh, that's crazy. Ooh, I wonder. Maybe they're fixing it. Maybe there was. I don't know. That's weird.
Like, you see all the music and you see the mascots. They added all this stuff because it was so well received in college that they said, you know, we should bring this over to Madden and do the NFL team traditions. And this year, they built on them for most teams. You see, the Broncos have the skydivers. The Jags have their mascot coming down from the top of the stadium. The Panthers bang the drum, right? Every team has some type of tradition. Well, the Saints tradition was the Who Dat chant, but it's already been removed. Now, I don't know why you would put this in last year and it'd be kind of a selling point with all of the updated presentation just to remove it the next year. So maybe they're redoing it. Maybe it's an accident and it wasn't supposed to be removed and it's a bug. I don't know, but as of right now, it's not in the game. Another one that I found weird to not be in the game was the Lambeau Leap. This has been in the game and removed times over the years. I remember it was put in.
They took out the Lambeau Leap? What? What the fuck? Why would y'all take out the Lambeau Leap? One of the most iconic things in football. EA, what's going on, brother? What? Talk to me. What's going on? Yeah, because this was like a big selling point last year. And did they have it the year before? Did they have it in 25? I'm trying to think, did they have it in obviously I know they had it in obviously 26, we know they had it. But yeah, they took out the Lambeau Leap? What the hell? What?
In Madden 21, and then a couple years later they removed it, and I think that's because they updated the crowd, and so they had to kind of redo the animation to work with the crowd.
Okay, I do remember that.
And then last year it came back. Well, this year when I try to do the Lambeau Leap, nothing happens. Now again, this could be a bug because when I run to the back wall after a touchdown, you're supposed to Lambeau Leap in Green Bay, but they kind of just do nothing. It almost looks like it is a bug in a way, but maybe it was removed. I don't know.
Yeah,
that might be a bug. Last year something they added were hot spots. So if you ran around to certain spots after a touchdown, like the back wall, they would throw the ball at the wall like you see in real life. Or if you went to the goal post, they would jump up and tap the goal post. None of this happens now after scoring a touchdown. So I don't know if, again, this is something that's being redone, if it's a bug, but you can't Lambeau Leap in Green Bay anymore, at least as of right now. And number 7 is another kind of odd one because, again, this is something that was added last year, but this year they reduced it, and that is the heavy weather. Now, yes, heavy weather technically is still in the game. You still have heavy rain and heavy snow.
Sorry for pausing. This one right here. Thank you. It looked awesome in the trailers and stuff, okay? But I did a franchise mode with the Buffalo Bills, okay? And we had to play against the Eagles. right? We played against the Eagles. I literally could not see my teammate right beside me. Literally could not even see. Hey, I was handing it off to James Cook, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea how I won that game. How I scored, I think I scored like maybe over. It was over like 30 something. I have no idea how I was able to do that. Okay, cause I was trying to throw down field, couldn't see none of my receivers. It was just a hope and prayer. I was just praying to the good Lord above that it don't get intercepted. And it was a tough one. It was a tough one. Um, I'm glad they reduced it though. I'm glad they reduced it. In the trailers and stuff, it looks awesome, but when you actually play it though, oh my god, damn! Especially like a Buffalo, like with the Bills, like or teams like that get that heavy snow. Woo, boy, is brutal.
Year,
It is
remember, one of
brutal.
the big
It
selling
make you
points was
think you
football weather,
blind.
and they really focused on the snow in the trailer and just how foggy it could get and how it would be hard to see, and it was pretty crazy. It was almost impossible to play in.
Yes.
It really wasn't super fun to play in, but it was a cool look to see, man, when the weather gets that bad. We've seen that happen in real life a handful of times over the years. It's definitely not something that happens often, but when it does happen, it's pretty memorable. Well, this year in the game, if you choose heavy snow or heavy rain, you'll notice that they reduced it quite a bit. It's not nearly as foggy. You can see a lot better. It's obviously still a little harder to see than the regular snow options or a clear day, but it's not nearly as crazy as last year. Now, I do think they probably went a little overboard with it last year, like especially the snow. It was super hard to even try to play in that, so maybe they dialed it back because they realized it was just a little too extreme, and we rarely see conditions that extreme in real life, but I did think it was a cool thing to have. Now, they did also add dynamic snow and dynamic rain, and I do think maybe in the dynamic versions, you can potentially get conditions that get that extreme, potentially in the dynamic versions. I haven't seen it myself personally, but I do think that is a possibility in there, so maybe that's kind of where they moved it to. But if you just want to pick the standalone heavy snow from start to finish or heavy rain start to finish, you'll notice that the conditions are not nearly as heavy as they were last year. And if you want to see a full comparison of this and everything else with Madden 27,
alrighty. For me, the biggest celebration was them reducing the snow. Oh my goodness gracious, bro! Like he said, it looks cool. It looks very very cool. When you first see it, you like in awe. But then once kickoff hit, oh my good. When kickoff hit, I couldn't even see the ball. I could not. I'm kicking the ball, have no idea where it's going. Literally no idea. I can't see it. So it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to see on the trailer and like first see it. But then when you actually play it, you start to realize how like it's literally unplayable. You just got hope and pray that you stop them because you ain't gonna really be able to do much. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Uh, what do you guys think? Do you guys think some of these should be out of the game, or do you guys think they should add it back? And if you made it this far, type Dolphins in the comments. Yeah, type Dolphins. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.